we don't have an intro yet because we're exceptionally lazy people. But when we do, I want like a theme song. It's kind of like some old school like Metallica thrash, where it's like, dun, 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 and then just vocals, like gang vocals, being like Blastin with the boys.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to do that for us, for free,
definitely do that.
Yeah.
That's the name of the show, Blasting with the Boys, where we toke some cigs, blast some cigs, and you could do it with us at home. We sit for about 7 minutes, the length of one cigarette. Well, we'll just shoot the shit. Just a couple dudes. You join in like a lunch break. You take a break. Maybe your 7 smoke break and your 5-hour shift at the Pizza Hut. You go behind in the alley. You light a cig. You talk with the boys. Maybe you shit talk the managers. Shit talk whatever's happening in pop culture.
Yeah, we can't hear you, but you can talk directly to the phone. It doesn't matter. You don't even have to be smoking, really. Just pretend that we are your friends.
Which we are.
And that you are simply humoring us and some of our worst habits.
Exactly. Smoking.
It's
Speaking
true.
of which, Nick, how long have you been smoking?
Oh, Jesus. On and off for I guess, you know what, I'm going to say about a year, since I never really smoked with any kind of regularity until we both worked in St. Pete for that one Christmas job at Tropicana.
Yeah. Enchant, absolutely. You would think that being surrounded by Christmas cheer in the season would lighten your mood, but it was...
You'd be very naive to think that. No, it drove me to smoke. And I've been on and off ever since. Never really with much regularity, but definitely much more so than previous to that event.
Yeah. What do you smoke normally?
Oh God, I'm a menthol guy.
Definitely.
The worst possible.
I know you have
choice.
a thing for like those extra crispy Marlboros.
Oh yeah.
Like the NXTs or
I love anything that's minty. That I don't know.
Just like brushing your teeth.
It's exactly like
much more
brushing your
fulfilling.
teeth. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
My burn of fides. It's like bona fides, but burning because they're cigs.
I get it.
Started smoking around the same time. I embraced it much more so than you, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Pretty much an American Spirit light menthol guy. When these clog up my lungs too much, which is every pack or so, I'll swap to a nice Marlboro menthol light. Nice light smoke. The only downside to those is I have to smoke like 4 to get the same effect I have like smoking one of these.
That is a downside.
Yeah.
That is a downside. I generally try not to buy any cartons of the shit, but sometimes I do. And sometimes a portion of those cartons either goes to you, someone else, maybe a homeless person.
Packs. You don't buy cartons.
Cartons of cigarettes. I don't. Whatever. Either way,
You're ruining our credibility.
I'm not a regular.
as smokers.
I'm not a regular smoker. You're the regular smoker. I am kind of like a Padawan to your Jedi Master of inhaling toxic chemicals into your lungs. Carcinogens.
Got it down to a science.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what we're smoking today for you guys. American Spirit, light menthol, the light green. Just go for about $8 a pack, which is obscene, but it's worth it, I believe.
Yeah.
Yours?
Thank you, sir.
I got a lighter there for you. Invested in ashtrays specifically for this show. I've never used one before. I normally just stick to empty like coffee bottles. Actually, no, like Dunkin' bottles, in my car. So when I put the cigarette out, I get like a nice inhalation of like plastic fumes.
Real
It really
dirtbag shit.
adds to the experience. Outside of that, just flick it on the ground. Before we light up, though, what's our topic today?
On your cue. I guess our topic today was the MAGA merchandise and what is to be done with it now that it seems like our poor president fighting for us every single day. It seems like he's not fighting hard enough, and he's going to lose the presidency, thereby handing over the reins of government to the deep state and all of the deep state actors. It's a shame, but
This is satire.
it's a shame, but it's happening. This is not satire, and because of that, obviously there's going to be an influx of sort of flags, bumper stickers, T-shirts, of course the classic red
hat
caps, now iconic, and all sorts of other shit. I'm sure, fucking baby swaddles. I'm sure, pet toys, all sorts of shit. All going to be embarrassments after a few months from now. It's just going to be reminders of
okay,
loss.
Well, light up. This is going on.
Yeah. Let's hear it. And
So-
yeah, they're going to have to be going somewhere, and we're going to determine what exactly that somewhere is.
So there's this trend in sports, like, before the World Series, the Super Bowl, where both teams will print out merchandise that says, like, 2020 winner of the Super Bowl, and obviously one of those teams has to lose. It's the nature.
As is the nature of
sports.
Competitive sports. Yes.
Yeah. And so typically what they do with the losers, right? They're obviously not putting the shirts out in the American market. That'd be horribly embarrassing. So what they do is they send them to, like, impoverished countries.
Yeah, like Somalia, the sort of like really impoverished countries. And politics is essentially, especially electoral politics, is just a sport. All right, we're all rooting for our own separate teams. And so, somebody has to lose.
Some ironic gesture. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see, like, influx of refugees, like poor Svengali children wearing, like, Trump 2020 shirts.
I suppose that would be the ultimate irony, huh?
Yeah. I hope they can get something better than that.
I would hope so too.
But that would be like a personal, like a little slap in the face to Trump.
I mean,
Like these people he loves so much being the ones to the benefit from his loss, essentially getting these free clothes.
Yeah. It is a net benefit for them and a net loss for him. And he's not a man that likes to lose. So we'll see how he copes with that in a few months' time. But what I'm really curious about, more so than the shirts, because I think, that's probably going to be where they go generally, is like these giant fucking obnoxious flags that you see in the back of every pickup, every other pickup.
Or just like the stands on the side of the road where it's just like, you have various flags. You have like him as Rambo, like the classic one.
Various religious effigies. It's like
It's
like the new stained glass. It's like the stained glass for the evangelical QAnon people that see Trump as some kind of demigod. And all of these things, I'm sure some will be kept by like the diehards, the real faithful. But there's going to be some people who are just like, I'm not into this anymore, and then the flags are going to have to go somewhere. Here's my thing. I think that all the discarded flags should be combined into... have you ever, in elementary school, ever played in like a giant, like, it's like a giant
you
thing.
whip it up.
And you go under, alright? People do that in the schools, people do it at like festivals where they smoke weed and shit. And I think that we should just combine all of the trashed MAGA flags, and we should put them into one big, whatever those things are called, and then boom, that's how you unite the country, alright? People, former MAGA people, liberals, socialists, all these, everyone, under one big, little, large cloth made up of all these trash flags. We're all just going to play around and have a good time.
Going back to our childhood, where these differences didn't matter. We all
Exactly.
just wanted to be under the big net.
Reverting to a more innocent time in our lives, and then we'll all bond through that. And then that's going to be where the healing of this nation begins, is what I believe.
It's just funny, like, how unprecedented this is, because no other president, or politician really, has ever had, like, merch. Like, you had, like, the Obama Hope pictures.
Obama,
but those
I think...
didn't proliferate nearly as much.
I think Obama was kind of a start, though, of this, like, new type of, like, a political icon in the modern, consumer landscape, where we'll just get I'm a guy who's going to get an Obama Funko Pop over here, and then over here is going to be the Trump people who get the fucking decals of the Punisher skull with the Trump hair. And it's two sides of the same coin. They think that they're fighting for something that is an actual idea, but in truth they're just dueling consumers.
Yeah.
All right, picking which brand appeals to their instincts.
It's just, how do you typically dispose of flags, right? Because in my mind,
You burn them.
Well, no. Here's the thing: like en masse, because usually when you need to dispose of a flag, it's like when somebody's taken over like a country, and then you're like, all right, well, we got to dispose of all these native flags and put up our flags, right? I don't think there's ever been a situation where you've needed to dispose of flags in bulk, where you couldn't just like round them up and burn them, because Trump people want to just give them away. So anyway, my main thesis here
Someone tried to sell them, I think.
Yeah, well, that's my next question is, are these going to be a symbol of shame? Or, like, 30 years from now, is there going to be, like, a secondary, like, market for Trump merch?
I think there probably will be, just like nostalgia, like the cycle of nostalgia sort of reinvigorates ironic, like, relics of the past. Assuming society is still, like, up and running in 20 to 30 years' time, I think it's possible that people will bring that shit back. Just like, people, like those, what was it, that Reagan Bush shirt that don't you have one of those?
Oh, yeah, I have not out of any nostalgia for the Reagan and Bush presidency, largely
Really?
because I wasn't alive at the time. But it's a tank top, and it is just the comfiest shirt I own. And I can't wear it out of the house because I don't want to be, mistaken as somebody endorsing
As somebody with bad ideas.
piss king Ronald Reagan, may he burn in hell.
And HW too.
HW.
Let's not limit his contributions to the deep state.
Yeah, so I guess the way I look at it is most people are going to dispose of their Trump memorabilia in the coming months, right? Because they don't want to be associated with the loser.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try to make you forget that they were once Trump supporters. Don't let them forget, for the record.
I think it's going to become like a symbol, similar to like the Don't Tread on Me flags, where it's essentially strictly for people who can't get off without like a rich person spitting in their mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The people who want to cosplay as somebody who's rebellious, but in reality they're just simping for some rich fucking Fauntleroy who would never give them the time of day. I don't think Trump would ever piss on any of these people if they were on fire. It's really embarrassing, but yeah, I think there will be the hangers on, and there's going to be people who will just decide that it never happened. And it's very easy for people to just sort of rewire their brains to new realities. So I think this is going to be very soon for most of the population. Like I said, the diehards will probably still watch him on television or whatever and pretend that he's the president. But for the most part, it'll just be
I delivered
whisked away.
pizza to this house the other day. It's insane. They had literally at least 5 different unique Trump flags. They had like Jump on the Trump Train. They had the classic Trump 2020. They had a Don't Tread on Me flag. They had a fucking like Blue Lives Matter, a little lawn ornament.
All the classics.
All the class, and just the entirety of their front yard. And I do feel like not sympathy for these people. They got what was coming to them.
Oh, for sure.
Doing
For
shit
sure.
like this, but like the sheer amount of money they had to invest in all of this.
I feel
decor.
secondhand embarrassment for sure.
That's the best.
Yeah, sympathy, nah. Secondhand embarrassment, definitely. And yeah, no, I mean, the thing is that a lot of these people were also sporting McCain, Palin, like signs and stuff. They'll just move on to whatever the next despot is, which will almost certainly be worse than Trump in every single way.
Who's the eye patch guy? He's my big bet.
Dan Crenshaw.
Crenshaw, 2024.
Nah, a lot of these people hate Crenshaw though.
Why is that?
They think he's a rhino.
A what?
A rhino, a Republican in name only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they think Dan Crenshaw is a Republican in name only. I don't think they're going to jump on him. I don't remember why specifically.
We don't gotta get too deep into the wonker.
Well, good. I don't remember why anyway, so we don't have to talk about that.
Ugh. But it's just one thing I'm really looking forward to with the Biden presidency is that they don't inspire this kind of fanaticism. Like
They couldn't.
There aren't going to be like Biden.
Well, there's
flags.
the Kamala heads though. You got
The K-Hive?
Yeah, the K-Hive. You got to keep those people in mind too. Now, those people are a significantly smaller portion of the population than the Trump people. I would say that maybe 0.0001% of the people you meet in real life are K-Hive, Kamala Harris
What would the
fanatics.
merch be? Like I could see like Joe Biden adult diapers, you know?
I
see that in
can
the future.
picture Kamala Harris back the blue flags.
Okay.
I could picture T-shirts of that now famous image of the Photoshop Bernie being arrested.
But it's Kamala
But it's
doing the
Kamala
arresting?
and Joe Biden arresting
Yeah,
him.
that's a good
where
one.
a lot of those weirdos really like that. They think that makes them look like the good guys. them pretending to be racist cops in a context of the civil rights movement, arresting a young Jewish man for daring to cross them. Yeah, that fits, because these people have no
Kamala
self-awareness.
branded handcuffs.
Oh, Kamala branded handcuffs. Dude, maybe this will be when the liberals finally become pro-gun, which is, by the way, a big hindrance for them as far as appealing to certain portions of
Oh my God!
America.
Were those like long bullet holders? Those called magazines. Kamala mags for your semi-automatic rifles.
Yeah. I can picture all sorts of.
So, due to no fault of our own, we lost the last 2 minutes of that video due to some terrible production work by someone who will not work in this town again.
Let me tell you something.
Debauchery.
All right? This never hire your producers from Craigslist, okay? Because they come in, they fuck things up, and then they charge you exorbitant fees anyway, all right? And I'm not going to name names, all right? But if somebody named Scott happens to appear in the Craigslist, where do we set up the ad again?
Just the Craigslist
whatever,
store.
yeah, whatever. Just don't hire this person named Scott, okay? Because
He'll make you look like a fool.
He'll look like
in your debut video.
He'll
You
fuck
look like
everything
oaks.
up and make us look like idiots
People
and
are
make
never
me
gonna
feel
come
bad about myself. No one's coming back now, and all of our hopes and dreams have been shattered. But it's okay, because we're not blaming anyone in particular. We're just saying that if it's not our fault, all right, and we'll do better next time.
Please
But
come
again,
back
it's not
next
our
week.
fault. It's not our fault.
I spent so much money on these ashtrays. It would be a shame if they went to waste.
This is
Because of
coming
one
out of
nitwit.
somebody's.
Because of
let
one
me-
nitwit.
These ashtrays, what it costs to buy these,
Yeah.
is coming out of somebody's
79 cents.
paycheck. All right,
79 cents.
all right.
For 2 of them.
It's coming out. It's coming
It's like
straight out.
$1.50 something,
All right.
probably.
And we apologize again for certain people's lack of decorum, and we will do better next time. Thank you so much for
joining us.
For joining us. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, Scott.